Welcome to another video of Monday Motivation. Today I'm going to walk you through a compilation video of things that I do to get ready to prepare for a new baby. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is how I mentally prepare for labor. I was going to talk about this at another time. However, I have a little girl that's not feeling very well, and she just wants me to hold her. So I'm going to sit, and she keeps falling asleep and is kind of in and out of sleep. We've been really battling basically a cough that's been going around. So I have 3 weeks to get rid of it. But anyway, so I'm going to sit here and hold her and rub her back and stuff as she just needs me to hold her. Okay, so this is one thing that I love to help other women with. I have another friend coach that specializes in pregnancy and postpartum. I will include her information down below. Her name is Sarah Snavely, and she is absolutely wonderful. She helps, I think she has training in midwifery. I know she goes and helps. I'm not sure all of her titles or whatever she has, but she's excellent. Does all kinds of things, supplements and oils and all kinds of stuff. So she is excellent. So definitely, if that's something that you're really, really struggling with, definitely hit her up because that is her specialty. However, something that I would do, well, I'll talk about myself and then I'll talk about how I can help women with my coaching. So for me, I know that I've had, all of my births have been very good, praise the Lord, no complications. Major complications to speak of. I have had some hemorrhaging with my last one and bled a little bit more, but again, nothing, serious, life-threatening, nothing like that. So I've been very, very thankful. God has definitely blessed me a lot in that area of my life. However, they still hurt, they still suck, and I have to labor through. Anyway, I know what it's like to have that trepidation, that fear of what's coming, and I get it. So mentally speaking, and I'm going to talk later in this video about some things that I do physically to prepare for a new baby, but mentally, I don't love to think about labor, and I really don't do that until, I'm sorry, my camera's moving all over the place, but I'm just trying to hold her. Poor girl. Hang on a second. Okay, I think I got her situated. I know what it's like to be fearful, so I don't think about labor until about the last month. And then the last month, I start to think about it. I start to watch birthing videos and really go through the motions mentally of what's going to happen and going through contractions and beginning the pushing process and the crowning and all of that. There is a study done, or was a study done, and I'll have to try to look it up and maybe include it in the show notes. But basically there was 2 groups of basketball players that were shooting foul shots. The one group actually shot foul shots and practiced, so many, like 100 a day or something. And then the other group of basketball players did not shoot any for the first section of shots, the first 100 shots. They just mentally would step up to the line, do their, some people will dribble 2 times, spin the ball, whatever, do their routine and shoot the ball. And they did it mentally 100 times. And then the second time, the second 100 shots, the same 2 groups did it, except the first group that just did it mentally, went through the motions mentally, shot. And then the second group that had actually physically shot the first 100, again, shot the second 100. And I think that they did like a flat test the first time to see how many shots that they made. And then the second, so they did 3 rounds of 100. The first time was their baseline. The second group practiced, and then the first group just did it mentally. And then the third time, they both shot again. And the group that practiced mentally improved more than the group that practiced physically that third 100 shots. So it just goes to show that when we mentally, first of all, how strong and powerful God made our brains, but then how important it is mentally that we do things. 2 verses for you is one, and I'll include I always get the references wrong, but one is, I think it's 1 Corinthians. Take every thought captive and make it obedient to Christ. So what that's saying is we are constantly having thoughts come into our brains, and we need to take those thoughts captive to be obedient to Christ. So that could be lies that are coming into our life. It could just be how we view something, how we view life, cherishing thankfulness, not harboring bitterness, all those things. You can't stop what comes into your mind, but you can determine what you're going to do with that thought. Are you going to dwell on that negative thought? Are you going to speak truth into it? What you do with those thoughts is either taking them captive and making them obedient to Christ or not. The other verse, I believe, is in Romans 12:2. It says, renew your mind in Christ. So God made our minds really, really powerful. That basketball example is a really good example of how powerful they truly can be. Oh, she's so sweet. So back to the birthing part, I really start to go through mentally and allow myself to go to that space of the child coming out, going through the pain of that, and thinking through how I want that process to happen. Not that I can determine it, but, for me, for example, my personality is I tend to rush things, especially at that part of the birthing process, is when it's go time, I start pushing. And I've rushed several of my births, which I think, like my one little girl, poor girl, she was my third. And I pushed so hard, so quickly, like, how the doctors will tell you, okay, push for 10 seconds, count to 10, and then you take a breath or two, and then write 10 seconds again. It was like I was going to I was almost hyperventilating, and the doctor was like, you need to stop and take a breath. And JJ, my husband, was like, she's not going to, so you may as well just work with her because she's not hearing you, just go. And I didn't even realize I did that at the time, but I had broken blood vessels down my neck. She had a broken blood vessel in her eye because I just pushed too hard too quickly, didn't take breaks, and I didn't allow her to just gradually come out like she should have. The other baby, it was probably my worst delivery, was my 7th baby, and I just don't think my body was ready. My midwife did some things to jumpstart labor, but I just don't think I was quite ready yet. I was really stressed out emotionally at that time, and I just was so eager to have the baby and be done that what I should have done is when my contractions kind of slowed down and stopped, I just said, see you, bye, and I'll call you back when they pick up again. But instead, we just did other things to kind of force the labor along. And then it was just, I almost stopped. I did stop mid-push, and his head was halfway out, and I stopped. And I was like, I don't know if I can do it. And JJ's like, you're going to have to, sweetheart. And he kind of walked me through it. But anyway, so I oftentimes really push, not physically push. I do that at times, obviously, but just push too quickly instead of just allowing my body to do what God created it to do and just allow the baby to come when they're ready. So things like that. I've been mentally just okay, just push when you have a contraction. Take a deep breath. Take your time. Your body's going to do what it needs to do. You're just there to assist, you know, those kind of things. So I really work on the mental aspect of it and really putting myself in that position, picturing myself in the pool, in the position that, you know, I want the baby to come in and all of those kinds of things. And then also, you know, saying things like, I trust God in all of this, that when fear comes in, I'm going to trust him that he has a plan. Because there's always that fear of, well, what if something happens to the baby? What if something happens to me during labor? Like, those are legit fears. You have to go potty? Okay. Going through those scenarios of what you would like it to be like, what you would like your labor to be like, if things do happen, trusting God, going through all of those things mentally. So that is the first way that I prepare for a baby. And then we're going to go into some other practical things here the next couple days. Another way that I prepare for baby is I drink red leaf raspberry tea. So you want to look for organic, dried, no, what are those things called? That you put on the plants. Mom brain. Pesticides. I found it. Pesticides. No pesticides, things like that. So I have used our leaves that we've grown out in our garden. I have bought these before, Mama Earth red raspberry leaf tea. These can become kind of expensive because they're in individual like tea bags. I also have gotten this huge bag, red raspberry leaf. You want to look for not red raspberry leaf. Okay, this is a great company, Micro Ingredients, and it is absolutely huge. So there is the dried up leaves. Okay, and then I'm going to show you my protocol inside this kitchen cabinet door. It is right here. So at 34 weeks, I go to 1 cup a day. 35 is 2 cups a day. 36, 3 cups a day. 37 till the end of pregnancy is 4 cups a day. And then you want to steep those leaves for at least 10 minutes. You say hi. And then the other thing that I do too is I eat dates towards the end of my pregnancy as well. I don't really have a number that's good or bad. I usually just grab a handful the same time that I am drinking my tea. Another thing that I do to prepare for the baby is get car seats ready and clean out the car. So for us, normally we still have, I have a little helper in the background. Normally we still have a baby that's in the infant car seat. So I usually don't end up putting this away. But as you can see, it just needs a good spray down and is kind of dirty. And then the belts and everything are gonna need loosened. So I always take the car seats apart, give them a good wash and scrub. And then that's basically my cue to move the next person up as well. And then usually somebody then graduates from a car seat too. Can you say hello? Are you gonna help me spray?
No.
Oh, yes. Can you say yes, Mama?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So, you know, I say, my husband says, I say that hell is going to be full of dirty diapers and car seat buckles for sure. So anyway, I, take this infant one apart. Tally, can you come spray this? Can you come spray it? We're gonna get the baby's car seat ready. Okay? Spray that up. So I'll let her spray that. And then this is the one that Big Brother has been using. So I'm gonna empty that one or take the belts and stuff apart as well. Pro mom tip here for you. When you take these things apart and start ripping all of the pieces off, make sure that you put the actual belt buckles, and I'll show you in just a second. Make sure that you put those up in a high place because I have just left them on the counter before, and then inevitably little fingers and hands come in and are like, ooh, this is a fun toy. And then when you come in to put the seats back together, then you don't have any of the parts. So I always try to put them up high or set them in like a cabinet or something so that you don't lose them, because inevitably you'll go to put the car seats back in right when you're going to leave, and then you won't have them and it'll be a fiasco. So in most car seats, the belts actually come out like this one, and you can wash the belt, and normally I do that, but it's all of these pieces that you don't want to lose. And sometimes, like if they're dirty, I'll probably see how this one has like just crap and stuff on it. I'll put these in like some stuff, like some vinegar or water to soak. Can I have the spray?
No.
Say yes, Mommy. Can I have the spray, please? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So Callie and I are just gonna spray these covers, and then I'll get a washcloth and wipe these down. And like I said, that's usually my cue that people are gonna move up in a size of car seat. So we'll go ahead and get the car seats ready. And then I've had the car cleaned professionally, you know, by someone before. I've done it myself before. This time I asked our oldest son to go clean it out, but I doubt that he like was super thorough. And I rarely ever clean our car, to be 100% honest, because I just don't make time for that, and it gets picked up quite a bit. But like to actually like wipe the console down and get the vacuum and like get the crumbs and all that, I just don't take time to do that because it's not a top priority. So I usually save that till when a baby is gonna come. Like I said, I've hired somebody to do it, like a car detail place where I go and drop the car off and pay them, and it's always so amazing. I've done it myself before. Talia, spray this. Not the floor, spray this. So anyway, I asked JD to do it, so we'll go out and see. I don't know if we're gonna get to that quite tonight, but he did bring in 2 laundry baskets full of stuff, 2 runner baskets. So we'll go check out the car, and I'm guessing the girls will probably go in tomorrow and like deep clean it, wipe the console, spray it down, make sure the seats are smelling good and all the gum and stuff is unstuck. So that's just something else that we do to prepare for a new baby. Here, Charlie, can you put the parts in the bucket? Good job. And we're gonna put some vinegar in there. I've got apple cider vinegar, so that's what we're going with. Okay, put the rest of the parts in there. Good job. Good job. Yay! One more. Awesome. Okay, I'm gonna fill that up the rest of the way with water. And just leave that sit for a little bit. Oh, you have one more. So sorry. Thank you. Put that in there. And then while that fills up, I'm gonna grab my thieves and some paper towels. And if you don't know what thieves is, it is Young Living's all-purpose cleaner. It smells absolutely delicious. I love it, and I use it for everything, and it kills germs, and I love it. So I'm gonna spray down these car seats and get them wiped off. Okay, so you saw me hang up our little girl's letters. Name reveal. Brinley. Brinley Jean. So, another thing that I've done to prepare, you okay? Okay. Is we've kind of transitioned Talia out of the nursery. I haven't taken out her sheets yet. Are you okay? Goodness. But I got Brinley's sheets and her blanket. Brinley Jean. So cute. So all of the nursery decor will stay the same as Talia's. I just ordered her stuff. And then in her changing table here, I washed all of the newborn girl clothes. I got them all washed up and folded in here. They're so tiny, so tiny. And then just made sure that all the blankets and burp cloths and everything were washed and ready. And then I also got some newborn diaper sizes out, and then I also put some size 1 underneath the crib there because they really don't stay in newborn diapers very long. It goes pretty fast. So I have some extra diapers here, wipes, those kinds of things in the nursery. And then I also got her little hamper. Everybody's names on their hamper. So, and then here's those size 1 diapers that, like I said, I'll put underneath the bed there. And a lot of stuff because we're just here's the sound machine. If you don't have a sound machine, you need a sound machine for your baby because it will help them sleep, especially if you have a large family. There's always noise and your babies will be used to the noise, but that sound machine just keeps that steady and constant sound. And I also have one beside my bed too, which is out there. So anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this little compilation video to show you how I prepare for birth and the welcoming of a new baby. And we'll see you here next time in our next Monday Motivation. Bye.